Introducing Sonjia Pelton-Sam, the glam coach who will jumpstart your life and business success. She's an empowering force of education and coaching who gets visionaries into action. With style, class, and charisma, the glam coach brings energy and inspiration to any room as an in-demand speaker and powerhouse mentor. With her experience as an 11 times author, certified teacher, coach, talk show host, and digital product creator, she knows what it takes to monetize your products and maximize your potential to do something that matters. Launch your vision with the glam coach, Sonjia Pelton-Sam. Introducing Sonjia.
All right, here we come, guys. I'm excited. So, my name is Sonjia Pelton-Sam. We already had the intro, guys. I'm excited about my guest, Dr. Taylor Simon, in the house today. Baby, she's going to drop us some nuggets. She's going to change our life. She's going to shift you to the next level. I know that. I'm going to go on and drop the secret. Yes, she is my daughter-in-law, y'all. She is my daughter-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
So, Taylor, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I like to call her a Mama Love because she's not my mother-in-law. She just, because I don't think that's cute. Like, she's my mother-in-law. She's my Mama Love. And so thank you so much for having me, the glam coach. But I am Dr. Taylor Simon, like she said, and I am a mom of miracle twins, Ava and AJ, her grandbabies, and I'm married to my husband, Alfred Simon. I'm also a business owner. I actually am on a mission to help leaders, entrepreneurs, and creatives discover their wow, upgrade their faith, and build an electrifying brand that makes and impacts millions through transformational coaching and branding expertise. And so I'm really passionate about I'm being an advocate for dreamers struggling to believe in themselves, and leaders, who still have yet to experience the unlived version of themselves due to trauma and insecurity and shame, and entrepreneurs who are striving for significance. I feel like there's so many people selling for being ordinary, and I feel like I'm called to help people live a vibrant, extraordinary life and help them to see who they were tailor-made to be. And on top of that, I also am the founder of the T Nation, the Esther Experience, where our mission is to transform women of all generations to influence the nations. And I'm really excited about my book launch that I have coming up in September. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm sure we'll get more into it in a little bit.
I love it, Taylor. So tell our guests, how did you get started with all this? Where was the beginning? Tell us about it.
Yes. So the beginning of me was I was in the entertainment industry. And so I was trying to be like the next Beyonce. I was trying to be like, on the stage. And that's where the creativity in me was birthed out. Right. And so I really enjoyed moving on the stage until I rededicated my life to God. And that journey of reinventing myself and just me going on a journey of self-discovery ended up unearthing a version of myself that I never even knew that I was. And so I ended up discovering that I was tailor-made for so much more. And here I am, as I actually started off as a full freelance graphic designer and photographer. And it actually ended up evolving into me becoming a celebrity brand strategist and marketing expert, where I also own an agency called Tailor Made Creative Agency. And so it started on the stage, and it ended up where I honestly got on the right stage, rather, where my stage and platform has expanded to, for me to really, truly make an impact. So I went from entertainment to empowerment.
I love it. So what inspired you, just got you going? It was just, it was your greatest inspiration. What was that?
So my inspiration, honestly, I really didn't have an inspiration going into the industry that I'm in right now, because I honestly didn't even know that it was something that I could do. Because I honestly just thought that I was going to be this singer, this entertainer my whole entire life. But God had another plan. And so when I discovered that, I just honestly was doing something that was always natural to me. Behind the stage, I love to paint. I love to just draw. I loved art. And I'm gonna be honest, if I could like my past and what I went through honestly inspired me to unleash pain in my creativity. And I feel like a lot of creative people can relate to that, where your creativity can be a space, or an outlet just to release some stress, some anxiety, some pain, trauma that you may have gone through. And so I'm gonna be honest, it started with trauma, but then it transferred to transformation. And once I transformed, I had like this epiphany from God that it wasn't about me, that there are so many people in this world that desire to live their dreams and live their best lives and, discover who they were tailor made to be and do that and operate in excellence while they're doing it online or in person. So,
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about this. So we all have this dream, like one day it's just gonna drop and we just gonna have like a pile of money. So if right now somebody was watching you and they say, I want to bless Taylor Simon. I want her to live her ultimate dream life. If money was no issue, like what would you be doing? What would you do?
well, I would honestly, I really want to create a television show. I want to start there because I really truly believe in empowering the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs, and especially women, because I feel like we're in the age of women. And, there's so many women, who don't have an outlet to really truly operate in the fullness of themselves. And so I would love to start a television show that kind of host these entrepreneurs and gives them an opportunity without bias to be able to live their dream and showcase their gifts, showcase their talents. And I could say change the world, but that's a little bit unrealistic. With the business pursuits, I would love to make investments, and like philanthropic, investments, like go across Africa and build schools where people in Africa, students aren't just, being educated just for the sake of being educated, but why not teach them how to build a business? Why not teach them economics? Why not teach them how to establish and create wealth for their family and build a legacy for themselves, And so I would love to give back to the community and give back to those who are less fortunate, and help them to realize that they don't have to stay in that small space that they're in, but they can still yet be big in a small space.
I love that. I love that. I was watching some kind of interview um, yesterday, and somebody was interviewing 50 Cent. He's not my favorite, but hey, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But he once he started talking and he started talking about his why and he started talking about upbringing, but he started talking about also realizing that it takes individuals to change the world, basically one person at a time, and his empowering youth to grow and entrepreneurship, giving them the skills they needed, the tools they needed.
Yeah,
He also had the influence, but he had the money to do it, right? So having wealth to be able to go, and I can tell you about how to create other wealth, but having the money to
exactly.
actually launch you to the next level, help you with the product, help you put the thing together, and then having the influence to put your name on it and that tagline, to just stamp it with your approval so that people can grow. That's so powerful. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
I just believe that yeah, what you said is just amazing.
Because there's so many people, out there in the world who are kind of like window shoppers, I'll say, where they are, looking at other people's lives and hoping and wishing and praying that they too can do the same thing. But they feel like they don't have the resources, they don't have the skills, they don't have the assets, they don't have the, the generational wealth for them to do that. And so I feel like, being that catalyst of change and being the one to say, you know what, I'm going to go out and provide and pour into the next generation, and not just the next generation, because there's an older generation too that are like, oh, well, I wish I could have did that. Or I wish I could have did
Yeah.
this, but they can still do it. It's just about being connected to the right people at the right time. So
I love that. I love that. And like my daughter-in-law, what I love, I guess, about both of us is that, like I say, some people have skills or coaching skills and they can talk to people and they know what to do. They can tell them what to do, and it's right. What they're telling them to do is right. But I'm sure that you found, just like me, that we run into people that people have told them what to do. They pay big money, but then implementing the process of the plan, implementing the landing page, implementing the website, implementing the graphics, implementing the publishing the book, to actually take the baby, birth the baby out,
Yeah.
right? And then clothe and feed the baby, to have those skills to do that is totally amazing. And so that's one of the things that I love about you. Uh, that we mirror off of is
Yeah.
that you have that ability to hone in and not even just tell people what to do, but actually to help them birth and create that vision.
Absolutely. I just feel like there's so many people who don't know where to start, and I remember when I first started my business, I honestly didn't know where to start, but I reached out and I asked for help. And that's the first things that one of the first steps that people need to actually, get out of get out of their own way and say, you know what, I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
I need some help with this thing. And, I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. And so getting out of the mindset of feeling like you have to do all the things on your own, that's the first step. And the next step is actually, implementing what it is that you have a vision for. And I know that you're the vision coach and you're all about vision. And so it's one thing to have a vision, and then it's another thing to actually implement it and set goals and actually create steps in doing it. And what I do, I'm a part of that vision. I'm a part of those steps where you want to implement your brand, you want to implement your content and your website and all of those different things, because we are in a digital age. And I feel like no matter if you are a speaker, if you're a coach, if you are a preacher, if you're a minister, if whatever kind of business that you want to do, we all have to become creators in this season. Like,
Yeah.
we all need to become creators. We all need to get over this mindset of feeling like we don't want to be on social media. We don't want to be online. We don't want to let our voice be heard in spaces that we're not familiar with. If we don't allow ourselves to be in these places in order for us to promote our business, really increase our impact and elevate our influence, if we're not going to be there, we're going to be bankrupt. We're not going to be able to achieve our dreams the way that we want to, or leave a legacy. And so we're going to have to become content creators, which means that we're going to have to build our website, and not just build any kind of website, but build a website that really not just wows in your audience, and not just a website that's pretty, but a website that's powerful and impactful, and that is profitable as well. And also create content that is in alignment with your goals and where you want to go, not just posting just for the sake of posting. But if you have a vision, then you need to make sure that your content strategy is in alignment with that. Making sure that all of your technology and being up to date with technology, AI
It's hot
right now. It's hot, right? And it's taking over. But listen, and I'll say this too. It's like some people will say, well, I don't know how to use AI and it's a lot and this and that. Well, there are also coaches that can help you, to understand how to use it. We got to stop coming up with all of these excuses, and saying that, oh, well, so because I don't know how to do it, then I'm not going to show up for it. Then we got to start, getting out of our own way and figuring it out. Because if you won't figure it out, you're going to become, silenced in this space where it looks to be overcrowded. And if you want to make a difference and make an impact and increase your income to build that wealth, you're going to have to show up and show out.
I love that. I love what you were just talking about. And I heard Audrey Richmond the other day, and she said she asked somebody about she wanted them to teach her photography. She was young and she wanted them to teach her photography. And they were like, no, that's their skill. They paid a lot, or they, whatever, to learn that skill. And so she said she learned then. She did not have the money, but she did know how to read.
Yeah.
And she did know how to research, right? And we all know about YouTube University.
Yeah.
So today we live in a world where it's no excuses. So yes, we have fast tracks. Fast tracks are, you go to somebody like me or Taylor or different people and you say, hey, I need this done, right? Or done for you, right? They know what to do. They can help you get whatever you want messaging across, your vision across, right? And they can help you take that thing and put it put it into a digital form or whatever, or create it. The next thing is to sit down and study it and learn it, right? There's people putting all their knowledges in books.
Mm-hmm.
There are people on there actually teaching classes. Matter of fact, I learned something one time from YouTube University in 1 minute that I had been trying to do for years.
Yeah.
The man got on there. It was a 5-minute video, but within that first minute, I was like, oh, that's all I got to do. So excuses are over. It's what you want to put into it, what you want to learn, right?
Yeah.
There's times when we go in and we get motivated, right? And people pump us up or people tell us what we need to do. There's other times when we need to learn what to do. That's a skill where you learn it, you practice it. Taylor, myself, we practice our skills so that we can get better at it, right? So the people that you see, they didn't start off actually always loving what they do, liking what they do. They did what's necessary. Taylor, you might not always want to go live, do you?
No. Not at all.
No.
Not at all, because number one, creating is hard. But I want to go back to what you just said and about the excuses. And there's a book called Do the Work. Y'all need to get that book. It's a powerful book. Do that book title in and of itself, that's a motivator right there. You got to do the work, right? Don't think, act. But one of the things that the author said in the book is that our enemy is not lack of preparation. It's not the state of the marketplace. It's not the difficulty of the project. It's not the emptiness in your bank account. Our enemy is resistance, right? It's our excuses, right? And so we have to stop overthinking it, over preparing, over researching. Some of you need to go on a research diet, literally, where you where you go on a diet from doing all the research and actually start to take action, and you'll figure it out on the way. Listen, jump. Jump. That's what I think. That's how mama birds teach their baby birds how to fly. They just drop them, and they're gonna be like, I'm gonna die, because that's how we feel as creatives, as leaders, as entrepreneurs. When we're first starting out, we feel like we're about to die, like something's about to happen. But on the way down, you'll end up discovering that you have the wings. You'll end up discovering that you ain't gonna die. Just flap your wings. And so when it comes to creating, 100%, I don't always want to create content. I don't always want to show up. I don't always want to go live. And to be honest with you, I don't always get the results immediately that I want to see. But it's about us continuing to be consistent. And not giving up. There could be one moment. That's all we need, is one moment. It's one reel. Sometimes we're one reel away, or we're one going live away, or one course away, or we are one website away, one social media post away from our breakthrough. But you will never know, and you will never begin to see it until you actually start and begin. Right. And so as a creative, yes, it can get exhausting. And yes, you may experience creative fatigue, which I have experienced for many years, because I've been doing this for many years. I've had ups and downs. And I think that's one of the reasons why I created my podcast, Beyond the Stage, because there's so many people out there that are only showcasing like pretty highlight reels, especially as entrepreneurs, like, oh, they're making all this money and this and that. But we don't really showcase what's really going on behind the stage. We don't really give the true, raw experience of what it takes to be a creator, what it takes to be a millionaire, what it takes to truly be successful. It's hard out here. Like they talk about, they'll show you, okay, let me show you how to create I can show you how to create a website. Okay. I can show you how to
send the traffic to that website takes you.
Exactly. I can show you how to show up online with pristine and high quality graphics. I can show you how to do all those things, and I can do a podcast on that as well. And I feel like there's so many people that can teach you how to do that. But what I don't feel like they teach a lot of entrepreneurs how to do is how to keep your mind right. Like how to not, give up when you're creating and you're on the journey to entrepreneurship. Talk the investments that you have to make. Like there's been times where I've made so many good and bad investments in my business, where I didn't have any money in my bank account. Like they don't teach you about accounting, how to set up systems in your business in order for your business to be sustainable and for you to actually, have a business in the next 30, 40 years for you to hand down to your children. And so
Right.
there's just a lot of things that are involved in branding, I believe, that a lot of people don't really expose and express um, when it comes to authenticity, right? And so,
Mhm.
yeah,
I love that. Being your authentic self. I think people know like when you're your authentic self and when you somebody else. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But I think that we have to show up today. I think one of the main things that's missing is that we have to show up.
yeah,
Good times, bad times, showing up matters, guys. People want to know. I had that about with cancer, and people wanted me just to show up. Some of them cared about me, some of them just wanted to be nosy, but they wanted me to show up, right? So you in business, and we see our celebrities when they go missing, we want to know where they are. You chose this. If you chose business and you chose to show up, it's the life that you chose. You chose to be there for the people. You chose to show up in the good and in the bad. It's like marriage. You chose to show up, and I think that is very important. I
yeah.
love it, Taylor. So let's talk about this. What would you say had the biggest or who impact on your life? It could be a time, place, a person, like the biggest just impact, power on your life.
That is a really interesting question. Who had the biggest impact on my life? I will probably say, I'll probably say, it sounds really cliche, but my husband.
I thought you was gonna say me, but it's all right. I just say him. It's all right. No, just
No, but seriously, I mean, there's been a lot of people, in my life, and of course, that I can say presently. But one of the things that I can say about my husband is that, whenever I transition from the industry that I was in to where I am today, um, he honestly didn't judge me when I was going through my journey of transformation, to where I got to today. Like I remember when we first started out and we were just friends, and I was still getting my Beyonce on, dancing on stage, and I had my own band and things like that. He actually came because he's a preacher. He was a preacher since he was 12 years old, y'all, and 8, yeah. But whenever we met, we were friends, and at the time he could have just not showed up, but I remember when I had a specific concert, he actually was able to, he got on stage and he recorded me while I was on stage. He was cheering me on while I was on stage. And in the back of his mind, he was like, she gonna be my wife one day. But the reason why I say that, I feel like he's one of the most impactful, he made the one of the greatest impacts in my life on top of beside Jesus, um, is that there have been so many times and moments in my life, especially growing up, where I felt like I had to be somebody that I wasn't, where I felt like I had to pretend to be perfect, to just act like someone that I felt like was going to be more likable or be more acceptable and more lovable. But even in my most incredibly horrible moments in my life where I was super insecure, chronically insecure, and I didn't really know who I was outside of just being a singer. My husband was there for me, and he told me that God loved me regardless, and he journeyed with me as a friend at the time, until we got married. And so I'll say that my husband is probably one of the most impactful. And he ministered to me through the whole way, even though I was not trying to be with him like that. Because I had this unrealistic idea of what the kind of guy that I wanted to be with, but he was there all along. And so, and of course, Jesus, I mean, full transformation, full 360 transformation in my life. Jesus is the head of my life. And so, yeah, that sounds cliche, but it really is true.
that's good. That's good. So tell us about what is the biggest life lesson you've learned so far?
The biggest life lesson that I learned so far is that give yourself grace. Give yourself grace to make mistakes. Give yourself grace to mess up, and to grow and evolve. Because one thing that I've realized is there are no losses, only lessons. And even though you may go through losses and, in relationships, in business, in life, in your journey. Because I honestly thought that I lost a career. I thought I lost a lot of relationships because I was going down this path, that I thought I was supposed to go on. But really, it was a lesson for me to discover that there's more to me than I know. And if we allow ourselves to, step back, be kind of like pulled back a little bit in order to be shot and fired forward, then we'll be able to see that, that there are gems in us that are developed along the way, which is what creates our brand story, right? That's what creates an authentic brand. That's what creates, a brand that people can relate to, that people can respond to, that people can see as approachable. And so that's one of the things that I've learned along the way, is that there's no losses, only lessons. And those lessons that you learn are gems that people need to hear about, that people want to see, that people want to know about, so that they can too be impacted and not make those same mistakes and learn in their journey as well, and also show up regardless. So
that's good. What keeps you like motivated?
What keeps me motivated now, because I feel like I had a different kind of motivation or level of motivation when I first started off and I didn't have kids. But today my motivation are my babies. Because yeah, they're my babies, because they're watching us. Me and my husband, we're their first example of what it looks like to pursue purpose, to be who God has called us to be, to actually live out our dream, and to make mistakes and learn how to grow from them, and all those. We are their first example of that. And every single day when I wake up, I'm constantly thinking about my babies and the legacy that I want to leave them, and how I want to really be inspiring to them, especially to my daughter. Like, I want to be that mom where my daughter's like, I want to be like my mom, and she can say it authentically without it being a forced thing. Like, I really want to, truly be a light in my house first. And that's my motivation. They are my motivation to keep going every single day, because they're miracles. I mean, they almost died when they came into this earth, and so ever since that happened, I'm like, you know what, God, they're the reason. Like, I need to keep going for them. I need to keep going for my babies, because they deserve just that.
So let's talk about that. We're going into that. So how do you like stay balanced? So you saying you have twins, they 5. I'm gonna let y'all know they energetic, y'all.
Yes.
They're my grandkids. I'm gonna let you know they're energetic, but
they are very
you have
energetic.
a husband, you have a business, and with the kind of businesses we have, you have to do things for yourself. And then you also have to carry other people's businesses also, right? And so then you also have something that you have to do once or twice a year, where you have to like plan events and things like that. So let's talk about like, how do you stay balanced in the midst of all of this?
I honestly feel like there's no such thing as balance, but there is a such thing as organized chaos. Um, because you aren't going to be able to balance it all at the same time. But I've been learning along the way that there are seasons for everything. And I remember when I first had the kids, and we went through that hard season of when I had to be in the hospital at 21 weeks, and due to something called an incompetent cervix. And it was just a really traumatic season where our lives were on the line. And so I honestly had to lay down my business and my career goals and my ambition for about 2 years, so that I can be present with my kids, so that I can heal from the trauma that I had experienced, through my motherhood journey coming into that thing. And that was just a season of that. And then the season shifted where God was like, it's time to go ahead and get back on. But I couldn't go into business or go into ministry the same way that I did before. I had to be a little bit more structured in my day. I had to organize, my schedule. I had to make sure that I created boundaries, so that I am protecting the time with my husband and protecting the time with my kids. One of the things that I'm I've been learning is to be present where my feet are. And so how I do that is that I allocate time for myself. So I actually have a whole schedule. If I don't work this way, then I'm gonna just be all over the place because I'm a creative. But in order for me to stay organized and for me to have some time to myself, I have to wake up early. So between 5 and 6 o'clock, between five and 8 is the time where I have my time to work out, to pray, to read, to maybe do some emails and things like that, and just have that time to pour in myself. Because, honey, if I don't pour into myself, I'm just gonna be a mess and be irritated with my husband and the kids. And then once they wake up, we're having some time together, and I try to make breakfast. And if not, I have a system for that where they got breakfast on the bottom shelf in the pantry, and they can go out and pick their own pancake and get their banana and applesauce. So I have different systems that work for my life. And then I also have a time block where I have a time where that's focused time on intentional work, where I'm working on client material, where I'm working on my business, not just working in my business, but working on my business, and then I also have time where I cook dinner, right? And I try to actually meal prep. I don't do it all the time, but but I try to meal prep, and plan ahead so that I'm not all over the place with everything. And so every day is a prayer away. But what I do know is that if you don't stick with your systems that work for you and your family and for your household, then you will be a hot mess. And so as moms, as wives, as business owners, it's important for us to create boundaries so that we're not, when we're with our kids, we're with our kids. Like when I'm at the play park with my children, I'm at the play park with my children. I'm not on my phone. I'm not on the talking on the phone and answering emails, but I want my kids to know that I'm present with them when I'm with my husband at nighttime or whenever we dedicate date nights. I'm present with him and I try to put the phone away. Do I do it all the time? I'm not perfect at it, but that's the system that I know that works. And so that's how the organized chaos. And honey, I also hire me a cleaner because I do love, don't get me wrong, I love and I really am passionate about having a clean house, because I truly believe that your house, the atmosphere that you set and create in your home is a reflection of, it's almost like how it's what sets the tone for you to focus, right? And to really just kind of be present. But when everything is in an uproar and it's chaotic and it's messy, your mindset is going to be messy. And so sometimes I don't have time to clean up and cook for the kids. So we'll order out, shamelessly. We'll order food, do whatever we need to do. If I had a busy day and I'm tired, I'll order food, or I'll hire me a house cleaner to come and clean up. Whatever you need to do it. But what I don't want people to do, and is what I talked about a couple of weeks ago, is that don't let your kids or your husband don't let them become the excuse of why you didn't choose to be obedient and do what God has called you to do. Because I feel like there's so many moms that do that. Well, we'll blame our kids, we'll blame our spouses for us not showing up for ourselves and being obedient to God. Right? Let's think about the Proverbs 31 woman. She did all the things. Right? All the things. And there's a blueprint in the Bible that shows us that we're called to do great things, right? We're called to nurture not only our spouses and our kids, but we're also called to nurture our dreams as well. And so we just that's one thing that I'm very passionate about, is not to sacrifice, put yourself on the block, to cut off your vision and your purpose and your destiny for the sake of everybody else. But we got to choose us too, in order for us to even show up and be good moms and wives as well. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell me this, what's next? What's next for you, Tay?
Yes, I'm really excited. So I actually have twofold things coming up. And so for my ministry, I actually just launched a book called Crown of Creation, 30 Devotionals to Becoming a Breathtaking Reflection of God's Glory. And it's a devotional for women. And this book is a pivoting book for me to relaunch my ministry, T Nation, which our mission is to transform women of all generations to influence the nations. And I'm all about equipping the next generation of apostolic and prophetic women, and for them to be raised up as leaders, as forerunners, for them to go out and be influential and be impactful and do it as the queen that God has called them to be in their respective places of influence. And so actually, I'm having a launch, a book launch, and a relaunch of my ministry for that next month on September 2nd. So you guys definitely stay tuned for that. And I'm going to be launching my Crown Network. Stay tuned for that as well. It's a network for women who are entrepreneurs, who are ministry leaders as well. And so stay close to that. And with my business, I actually have a few courses that have just come out, which I'm really, really excited about. Design Like a Pro and the Supercharger Visibility. And this is the beginning, not the beginning, but the unveiling of my business vault, my business and branding content and course vault called Be Tailor Made. And so I feel like there's so many people, especially over the years, who have wondered, like, Taylor, how do you do that? Like, well, how did you do this? And how did you create that? And so basically, I'm giving you guys my secret sauce on how to build your own website, how to create your own content in record-breaking time, how to, do your own photos and do it professionally. I'm giving you all the secret sauce when it comes to business and branding. And so Be Tailor Made is the place to be. I also have a new VIP day that I'm launching, as well as it's called Unleash Your Unique. So that I haven't really told everybody about it, but it's a new 6-month program called Unleash Your Unique. And so definitely stay tuned for all of that. And I'm just really excited. That's what's coming up next for me. And honey, I need to go on another vacation. So that's probably what's next for me too, is to go on another vacation since we just came back from Dubai, because I want to go back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell us how to get in touch with you. Tell us about those great outfits. Like, how do we get in touch with you? Social media, things like that. Drop it.
So you can get in touch with me if you want to work, if you want me to do something for you, because like what Mom said about the do it for you, that'll be at my agency, tailormadeca.com. That's how you can get in touch with me and my team. If you want anything, all things.
So is that www.tailormadeca?
Yes, www.tailormadeca.com. And that's where you can get in touch with me there. And so if you want to hire me as a speaker or a coach or anything like that, or if you want to be involved with any of the events that I have coming up, I actually have a conference called Made Conference as well for entrepreneurs and leaders and creatives. And so stay in touch with me on my website, with me personally on my website at IamTaylorSimon.com. You can follow me on Instagram at IamTaylorSimon as well. And you can also check out my YouTube channel at TaylorMade TV for all of the exclusive behind the scenes and just for some more business breakthrough content and digital marketing strategies and all of the branding expertise that I'll be pouring into you guys there. And so, yeah, that's how you can stay in touch.
I love it. So tell me this, because sometimes people like, I don't know, I missed information. Can they just simply DM you at I'm Taylor Simon and get in touch with you?
Yes, you can totally DM me, send me a message, and I always respond back. And so definitely don't be afraid to DM me and hit me up. I'll definitely respond.
Thank you so much, Taylor. I had an amazing time with you today. And so I am your host, your girl, Sonjia Pelton-Sam. Y'all know me as the Glam Coach. If you need digital products that sell and make y'all some, that's right, just a little bit of ching-ching in your pocket for your business, I'm your girl, creating planners, journals, workbooks, anything when it comes to digital products that sell and make you some money. Also, publishing is available. If you guys say, hey, I want publishing, I want some paperback copies of what we created, we can do that too. I'm your girl when you want business coaching. Y'all go ahead, go over. It's right there listed to theglamcoach.com or sonjiapeltonsam.com. I'm going to put a ticker up for theglamcoach.com. Head on over there. It has all the information. Also, I have free gifts for you. On my website, you will notice free gifts I have now. You definitely want my little black planner planning party. It has a workbook that we're going to use for the planning party, and I have a freebie vault. So for your business, for your life, we have a freebie vault. Go check out. It's called Free 99 on my website. It's ready for you. I had an amazing time. I love our guest today, Dr.
Love you,
Taylor
love you.
Simon. Yes. You want to pray us out, Dr. Taylor Simon?
Sure.
Let's
Lord,
do
we
it.
thank you for this moment and for this opportunity for us to just showcase our gifts and talents and just to glorify your name, Father. We just pray for every entrepreneur that they would excel, that they will not just sell, but they will sell out. And so we thank you for the millionaires that you're going to birth out in this season. We thank you that even more that they're going to discover all the more that who they were tailor-made to be, that they will be authentic business owners and entrepreneurs, that they will not be afraid to share their story and to document their journey so that they can build thousands and thousands of millions of people within their communities, Lord. And we just pray that this podcast will grow and be globally showcased across the world, Lord Jesus, and reach millions of people. And so we see all these things in your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, y'all. So guess what? Let's put it up here for y'all. That is the end. This is the Sonjia Pelton-Sam TV and podcast show. And we will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.